30 pieces. 200 outfits. That's the promise on every capsule wardrobe blog you've ever clicked. So let's actually do the math. Because that number is wrong. And the real one is better news than it sounds. Depending on which study you read, the average wardrobe holds somewhere between 118 and 200 pieces of clothing. And somewhere between a fifth and a quarter of it hasn't been worn once in the last year. Not worn out, not damaged. About 3/4 of those dormant clothes are still in good enough condition to wear tomorrow. They just never get picked. That's the part worth sitting with. The problem in most wardrobes isn't that there's too little in them. It's that every morning you run a small sorting algorithm across 150 options. And the same 6 things win. Every time. So the capsule wardrobe shows up with a fix. Cut it down to about 30 pieces. And to prove 30 is enough, it hands you a formula. Tops times bottoms. Plus dress. Times layers plus 1. Times shoes. Run it. 10 tops. 5 bottoms. 4 pairs of shoes. 10 times 5. Times 4. 200 outfits. Add 3 jackets. And the number climbs past 600. 30 pieces. Hundreds of looks. And the arithmetic checks out. That's the pitch. And, structurally, it's the same pitch that sells you a $5 shirt. A number that's technically true, and practically meaningless. Here's the question that formula never asks. 600 outfits. So I'm wearing the striped top, the gym shorts, and the heels. To a client meeting? Technically. The formula multiplies everything by everything. Reality doesn't. 3 filters quietly delete most of that number. Style. A large share of those combinations simply clash, and you know it the second you see them in a mirror. Season. Your linen doesn't pair with your wool, no matter what the spreadsheet says. Formality. The outfit that works for a coffee run doesn't work for a client meeting. And your wardrobe has to cover both. Put those 3 filters on the same 30 pieces. And the honest number of outfits you'd actually leave the house in lands somewhere around 30 to 50. That's 5 to 6 times smaller than the promise. And here's what nobody selling you a capsule seems willing to say out loud. 30 to 50 is completely, boringly, sufficient. There are 30 days in a month, which brings us back to math we've already done. Cost per wear, price, divided by the number of times you actually wear the thing. Depending on the study, the average garment gets worn about 7 times before it's discarded. Other research puts it higher. A casual t-shirt might collect around 33 wears across 4 years. Either way, the direction is the same. Globally, we're using our clothes about 36% less than we did 15 years ago. We own more and wear less. A capsule doesn't fix that by being virtuous. It fixes it by arithmetic. 30 pieces in constant rotation. Each collect hundreds of wears. 150 pieces competing for the same 7 days a week. Can't. Same clothes. Same closet. Completely different economics. So here's how to actually build one. And I'm going to skip the part where I hand you a list of 30 essential pieces you need to go buy. A capsule that starts with a shopping list isn't a capsule. It's a whole with better branding. Start with what you already wear for 2 weeks. Just notice what you actually reach for. That isn't a wardrobe audit. That's your capsule, already built, hiding inside the 150. Then name your life. Not seasons, not aesthetics, scenarios. Most people have 2 or 3. Work, home, going out. Anything that serves none of them isn't a gap in your wardrobe. And when you're deciding whether something stays or gets bought, one rule does most of the work. It has to go with, at least, 3 other things you already own, not 200 combinations. 3, because the thing that pairs with nothing is exactly the thing that sits unworn for a year. That's the 25%. Right there. 30 pieces don't give you 200 outfits. They give you About 40. And a morning, where you're choosing between 4 things, instead of 150. That was always the actual product. Not more combinations, fewer decisions. Which raises a bigger question. If endless choice is supposed to make us happier, why does it keep making us buy more? That's exactly what we're breaking down. Next,